All right. So I'm sitting in the audience. This is just this past August. I'm sitting in the audience, and I'm watching a man with a tattoo on his face. And the man holds up a hammer and a 6-inch nail, and he turns up to the stage lights. He inserts the nail into his nose, and he starts hammering away. He's hammering away until all we see at the tip of his nose is the head of the nail. I turn to my wife, who is watching through open fingers, and I say, "This may be the greatest night of my life." A little later in the show, I take a photo with my iPhone of the man with no shirt on. He's bare-chested, tattoos all over, and the man is laying on a bed of nails up on the stage, and my wife is standing on his chest. I text the photo to my sons, along with the message, "This man is sleeping in your bed tonight." And he was. So my sons don't live at home anymore. We're empty nesters. The kids are in their 20s. They live in the city. So, our house has gotten kind of boring, a little dull. So to spice things up, we occasionally host people through a website called couchsurfing.com. And on this night, we've offered to host these two self-anointed carnies from Lexington, Kentucky, who are traveling the country with their 10-in-1 circus sideshow that they advertise as being punk attitude and dirty South appeal. On one stage, they go by the names Captain Darren Von Awesome and Trashik de la Mure. But I've gotten to know them through emails as Zach and Katie. My favorite part of the show comes in the second, after the intermission. Trashik is up there, and she holds out this little hammock. It's like a mesh hammock with two mountain climbing carabiners on each side. And she inserts the carabiners into the holes in her ears. And then she squats down like a baseball catcher and puts a bowling ball into the hammock. She slowly rises, and my favorite moment here is because as she's slowly rising, I notice that she is scanning the audience, and she is enjoying watching the reaction of the audience. Like, this is what makes her happy, and this is why she does it, because she loves watching the audience squirm. When she rises, she slowly starts rotating in a circle, and the bowling ball starts to rise. It's like the Italian swings at the amusement park, swirl around and around. So at the end of the show, Darren announces they have one spectacular act that is not part of the admission price, but if we're willing to pay, they will do this one final act. And to make a contribution, their goal is $150. To make a contribution, you just come up and you staple the money to their flesh. Now, now this puts me in a bind for a couple reasons. It puts me in a bind because, first of all, since we're putting them up at our house, we didn't even pay to get in the door. We got in for free, right? And I also know, because I've been following them on Facebook and stuff, that they're driving in this beat-up old crappy car and it needs work. So I want to contribute. But I also want to contribute because they've exceeded the promise on the stage show banner that says vile, stupid, and disgusting. They really have. The whole night has been a study of contradictions. It has been hilarious yet horrible, funny yet frightening. It's like I don't want to watch, but I can't turn away. And I want to contribute. It's like I've realized what an artistic performance the night has been. It's been kind of like simultaneously walking through the Barnes Museum and the Mutter Museum at one time. It's been that much of a contradiction. So I really want to contribute So I put my hand in, I pull out a $20 bill, and Trashik is sitting on the edge of the stage, and other people, like, as soon as they announced it, the woman in front of me jumped up, ran up, took the staple gun and hammered it into money into Darren's chest. And other people, I go up, Trashik's got it on her arm, and people have been doing it. And I walk up, and Trashik looks at me, and she opens her arms to be like Christ. And I just stop, and I realize I can't do it. I just can't do it. And I sheepishly hand her the bill, and I make my way back to the chair, and I sit down, and I look up, and I turn around just in time to see her take the dollar bill I gave her and staple it to her own cheek. Now, I can't tell you what the spectacular final act is. All I'm going to tell you is it took balls. All right? But... So my wife and I, we say goodbye. We say, we're going to head home. They have to pack up the tools of their trade. They have a bear trap. They have swallowing swords. They have to pack up all their gear. So we stop. We get orange juice and donuts so they can have them in the morning. And my wife and I are driving on a backcountry road nearing our house, when all of a sudden my wife starts getting nervous about having company, and she says, I'm a little worried about that back guest room with the boys' old beds. Those mattresses aren't very comfortable. And I just say, an hour ago you were standing on his chest as he lay on a bed of nails. I think the mattresses will be just fine. Thanks.